What's going on, good people? Welcome back to the Contractor Secrets podcast. As you prepare for 2025, you're going to encounter growth in some way or another. If you are a business owner and you are excited about the future, a little bit scared, not sure what next steps are to get you from point A to point B, the goal of this podcast episode is to give you some clarity on some things that you can control. Because as a leader, this is what we want to focus on. What can we control? The rest generally will fall in line and take care of itself. Don't get too caught up on trying to control things you have no control of. However, I would say always look for accountability within yourself, iterate, and refine. So let's get into it. I want to give you 3 mindsets that are going to help you prepare for 2025 in a way that's going to allow you to sustain growth in your business. Now, why do I do this? I want to outline this for a minute because maybe if you're new here or maybe if you've been listening to me for a while, it's important to understand the intent of the person that's coaching or teaching you. Here's the deal. I believe that through this that I do, this coaching, this teaching, this mentorship, maybe it's going to give you something, whether that's a little bit of confidence, maybe it's a different perspective, or maybe it's that nudge that you need to take action and create a better life for yourself, the people around you, employees. I'm not sure what the impact will be. I just know for a fact I am grateful to be able to contribute to it in whatever way it helps you. So without further ado, I'm going to give you 3 mindsets that are going to help shift your trajectory for 2025. Now, here's the deal. As a business owner, it's not going to be easy. I don't want you to think for 1 second that owning and operating a business is easy. It's not. It's stressful. It's anxiety inducing. It's incredibly challenging. But let me tell you this, the rewards far outweigh whatever it is that you're feeling about growth, because for some of you, this is your first business, especially when it comes to a painting business or a trades business. The barrier to entry doesn't really exist. So maybe you've gotten something that's worked up until this point. Maybe at this point, you have started to sell projects and produce those projects and you're receiving money and you're not sure what to do with it. And maybe you feel like a lottery winner who has never had money before, right? In other words, you're seeing the success, but you're not sure if you can duplicate that success. You're not sure if you can repeat the result. Okay, so one of the mindsets that I want you to adopt is unrealistic confidence. As a business owner, you need to be unrealistic. You need to be abundantly confident in yourself. Believe in yourself. I want you to base this confidence off of faith, the faith in yourself, faith in God. But more importantly, what I want you to do is I want you to remember that feeling of whatever that feeling was when you quit your job. And I want you to remember that that was one of the most incredible decisions you could have made because you bet on yourself. You bet on your future. You took a chance. You did. And you're on the other side of what at one point seemed scary. And now it's normal life and you're okay. And although maybe you're going through some challenges, I bet you're proud of yourself. So number 1, the mindset is abundant, unrealistic confidence. Here's the deal. If it is to be, it's up to me. That is the mindset. The idea is that although right now what growth looks like in 2025 doesn't exist, it's all going to come down to you. Confidence, optimism, positivity plays a huge role in your ability to get from point A to point B. And I'll tell you this, when I first started my business, I had no clue how to paint a house. So I wasn't so much confident in our ability to do a great job, but what I was confident in was my ability to make sure I would not leave that project until my customer was happy. Everything else would fall into place. So if that analogy helps you, I want you to know that you may not know exactly how you're going to get to point B, whatever that is, whether that's hitting a certain gross sales amount or whether that's a certain amount of team members or whether that is a certain amount of income for yourself. What I want you to do is just adopt the mindset that you are capable. You're going to get there. That's it. And that's the mindset of a confident leader. And there's two reasons why. Number one, because I need you to believe it. Okay. I need you to believe it, because if you believe it, then you're going to activate something in here that's going to help you achieve that. That's called the reticular activating system. I want you to Google it, throw it into your chat GPT. Okay. Get a summary on what that is. I want you to understand that that is a powerful mechanism. And what it allows you to do is allows you to have awareness of things that you otherwise would not have awareness of, because you're mission driven. Okay. So again, it's a very deep topic, but mindset number one is abundant, unrealistic confidence in yourself and your ability to achieve your goals. That's got to be number one. Now, number two, how do we gain confidence in ourselves as leaders? This is very important, because although I said confidence and abundant confidence is number one, if you don't believe in yourself in other areas outside of business, then how could you possibly bring that element, that characteristic into business? It's just not going to work. In other words, if your house is a mess, right, and you have an office, generally speaking, the office is going to be a mess too, right? So the idea here is to understand that as a business owner, here's the mindset, is that there's no such thing as personal life and business. As much as people say work-life balance, these two things are connected in more ways than you can imagine. And I can honestly say this because the better I take care of myself, right, the leader of the business, the facilitator of growth, the facilitator of pushing boundaries, right? If I do that within my own personal endeavors, spiritual, physical, marital, right? Naturally, it pours into business. And this foundational concept comes from a place of keeping the promises you make to yourself. Now, in order to do that, you first need to make promises to yourself, right? So when we think about growth in 2025, what we should be thinking about is first identifying what it is that we want, and then promising ourselves that we're going to get there. That's where the confidence element comes in. It's an unrealistic confidence. So I want you to set that objective. Now, this may be a financial goal. We talked about that, right? This may be income, right? Whatever that is. This may be an amount of team members, or ridding yourself of bad habits, or simply just doing what you did again, but doing it with less stress, less worry, less concern, less anxiety, better systems, whatever that is, okay? So there's a promise that's anchoring the confidence. But I want you to understand that you need to make those promises in all the other areas of your life, or you will find yourself hitting a roadblock, because you can't take personal principles into business unless those personal principles are refined, or else the business will just be a reflection of poor personal principles, right? So in other words, what is a personal goal that you can strive toward, right, for yourself? Physical activity, physical fitness, right? Maybe you start exercising. Maybe you start going to the gym. Maybe you start reading, diving into personal development. Maybe you change your friend group, or maybe you double down on your marriage or relationship with your kids, and set goals and objectives in those areas. So naturally, you become someone that fulfills promises that you make to yourself. And it doesn't matter if it's in business. It doesn't matter if it's in marriage. It just doesn't matter. This is just who you are, right? This is the essence of leadership. In other words, what you'll come to be is someone of high standard, high character, honor. Okay, one of the greatest pieces of advice, really a statement, but more of a principle that my grandmother gave me was, your word is your gold, right? In the beginning, there was the word. What you say matters. Anything that comes out of your lips needs to be the truth, needs to be fulfilled, right? So if you say it, it is to be. If you say, I'm going to wake up tomorrow and go run, if I'm going to wake up tomorrow and I'm going to go work out, and you don't do that, you just lied to yourself. And if you're lying to yourself, how can you keep your promises to your team? When it comes to growing a business, you can't do this alone. You need people to buy into you. And there's two types of people. Number one it's your customers. Number two, it's your team. So they need to recognize you as someone that keeps their promises, because they're going to take your words and they're going to operate in a way that fulfills your vision, hoping that the promise you made to them gets fulfilled. And if they work to fulfill your vision and you're not working to fulfill their vision, there's going to be a disconnect there. Okay? So be a person of integrity, honor, okay? Speak from the heart and mean it and fulfill promises. It's okay to make mistakes, but it starts with you. If you can't keep the promises you make to yourself, you cannot keep those promises that you make to others. Last, mindset number 3. My favorite mindset of all, consistent and never-ending improvement. This needs to be the mindset, consistent and never-ending improvement, consistent and never-ending improvement. There's 2 types of business owners. There's ones that are satisfied, and there's ones that are hungry. You have to stay hungry in the game of business. The best analogy I can give you is from my personal experience. DripJobs. I've owned and operated DripJobs for the last 4 years. There's been many times where we've hit a development stride where it would have been okay to just say, hey, we did something great here. Let's just take a break. Let's just enjoy the fruits of this development stride that we made. There were many times to do that. And I'm sure that the people who work with me would have loved to hear that. But as the leader, I have to make sure that we're continuously evolving and innovating and iterating and never ending improvement. That is my job. No one else will do that but me. You need to be that person in your business. You need to be that person that's never satisfied with yourself, your own personal achievements, which then translates to you never being satisfied with your business achievements. Now, let me be clear to you. This has nothing to do with financial gain. Money is a result of consistent and never-ending improvement. It is not the pursuit. The pursuit is the improvement. The pursuit is the fact that I know that if I push my team a little bit further, they're going to be better. We're going to have that feeling of pride that we are the best. And I believe that wholeheartedly. I believe that in my painting business, and I believe that in DripJobs. I believe that no one can compete with us when it comes to my painting business. And I believe it 100% with DripJobs, simply because I know the engine that's running behind it is that no one is going to be more competitive and more innovative and more consistently, constantly looking for ways to improve. And if there's something that's not working, I dial in and I fix it, because that is my standard as a leader. So we talked about 3 mindsets. Mindset number 1, abundant, unrealistic confidence in yourself, in your abilities. Number 2, keeping the promises you make to yourself. It starts with you. Set personal achievable goals. Incrementally hit them, right? Be a person of integrity. Be a person that speaks truth. Be a person that delivers on promises. And number 3, consistent and never-ending improvement. And what I've just created for you is an iteration cycle that's going to help take you beyond where you think you can go and allow you to keep moving the goalpost, which elevates the standard of yourself and the people around you in your business for 2025. My name's Tanner. I'm the founder of DripJobs, and I want to thank you for joining me on the Contractor Secrets podcast. I hope this was helpful. I love feedback, so make sure you drop a comment. If you're seeing this on YouTube, make sure you follow me. And of course, like this and share it. Good luck this year. 2025 is your year. Make it happen.